Hey guys, welcome to Charcoal King. Hey, today, great one for you. We got country fried steak or chicken fried steak. But either one, it's gonna be awesome. You know why? We're gonna put the panko, the flour, and the breadcrumb idea to the test. Fry these bad boys up on the flat top. You guys stay tuned. All right, in this video, we're gonna do a three-step process. We're gonna take our ribeyes. We got beautiful ribeyes. This was a bone-in ribeye. We've already cut the bone out. We're gonna cut these in half. We're gonna pound them out. Then we're gonna egg wash them. They're all equal at that point. But then we're gonna try breadcrumbs. But what if you don't like breadcrumbs? Will flour work better? I don't know. We got flour. But what about panko? It's so much crunchier. Do you think panko will work? Well, that's why we're doing it today, so let's get started. First things first, let's get our meat. All right, we're gonna start with our meat. Here's a quick little tip. When you're using a cutting board, if you're not gonna use plastic, go ahead and put a cooking oil down. You're gonna wash your cutting board anyways. So right now, I'm just gonna rub in just a little bit of avocado oil. It doesn't take much, but it's just gonna help protect a thin layer from the meat just digging down into your cutting board. All right, so we're gonna just take a ribeye, and like I said, as easy as you can, fatten it up, because it's easier to cut like that. And we're just going to cut it right in half. Can you see that? Right in half. Same thing with this one. This one's a little bit thicker, so we're going to have to pound it out a little bit more. But man, is it tender. All right, so now we got them right in half. So this is what we're gonna do. Just a touch of avocado oil. It just helps the mallet glide across the meat a little bit easier. And when you're using a ribeye, obviously you can use sirloin, you can use the stuff made for country fried steak, cube steak, but we just love ribeye so much, and we just think it gives an outstanding, a little bit more here, flavor.
And we have a freezer full of them.
True, true. All right. So this is the most tender part of the ribeye, so we're going to leave that for the last part. And now we're going to do you want it thin. I'm going to turn it over. That probably doesn't need much tenderizing right there. And as tender as this ribeye is right here, it won't need much extra. But I'm going to show you when you turn this cool little gadget over. Getting the muscles, getting all that fat. If you guys want to, look at there, just like that. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to do the rest of these pieces and get our dredge station set up for you guys. So our meat's pounded out. I've already seasoned the first side. I flipped the meat over, and I'm just coming in here with my house seasoning, salt, pepper, and garlic. Now, obviously, you guys want to add the seasonings you like, but for me, it's a great neutral balance. I hit the bottom side of it with just a touch of red pepper because we like ours with a little bit of kick. But I don't want to go too much on this side because I've already done it. So I'm just going to show you. I mean, I'm talking about lightly for us. All right, so our seasoning section is done. Now that we've got this done, we've got our dredging station ready, okay? So let's just recap. I got my egg wash. We've got 3 eggs, about 2 tablespoons of your favorite hot sauce, and I've got about a half a cup of half and half. That's the wet part. For my dry part, I've got breadcrumbs, panko, and flour. Now, I personally do not season any of this. I think it's a waste of seasoning. I know you hear it all the time. You season as you go. You got to season every step. You put your seasonings there, but I think it's a waste of seasoning. So what I like to do is season my meat, dredge it, and as soon as it comes off the flat top, when the oil's hot and it's ready to absorb, that's when I re-season again. So a lot of times I do not season my dredging. So let's get going. All right, flat top. Flat top's hanging about low to medium. I'm about 375 to 370. I'm pegging pretty good. I'm gonna turn this one up just a hair.
So 375.
we're about 375. I got both burners. This one's about medium low and this one's a low right here, okay? We're gonna cook all 4 of them at the same time. Okay, all right. So let's go to the dredging. I'm gonna dredge all of them, and I'm gonna do 2 of them probably in the panko, because panko's our favorite. So one's gonna have the flour, 2's gonna have the panko, and one's gonna have the breadcrumbs. And then after that, we'll hit the flat top. All right, so let's get dredging. So this is how we're gonna do this. Take your seasoned meat, go into the flour, very light coat, but make sure you get all the crevices. Okay, drain the excess off, right into your liquid. Same thing. Make sure that liquid absorbs all that flour and vice versa, which now this is creating the glue, okay? So now we're going to go right into our breadcrumbs, okay? But we're going to get the rest of these breaded up just like this right here. Flour, liquid, and then whatever dry seasoning we're going to use, okay? Put them on this rack over here so they have a chance to hang out for a second. All right, guys, so here we go. So we got our dredge done, okay? We got our flat top ready to go. Now remember, when you're shallow frying like this, or just frying on a flat top, it's going to take a little bit more oil. Be careful which way your flat top leans as well. It might pull in one of the sides if it's not perfectly level. Mine's not perfectly level, but it shouldn't matter, and I honestly don't care. So I'm going to go right here in this corner. Because if you notice, my oil goes this way. So that's the panko. Up here. That's the breadcrumb.
So that's flour, egg wash, breadcrumb.
Yes. So just to recap, I'm going to put panko right here so they match. Ooh, that's a big old piece.
Flour, egg wash, panko.
Yes. And then this is just the flour mixture.
Flour, egg wash, flour.
Yes. All right. So now what we're going to do is, it's not the end all to be all, but what you want to do is be careful not to burn the bottom side. With cooking with beef, you can also do this recipe with chicken, but obviously you got to be careful with your chicken to make sure that your temperature on the internal side is what, above 165. But with the beef, you can cook it as raw, rare, medium, well done as you want to. It's not that big of a deal. But the key to this is getting that crust. I'm telling you, once you perfect this crust, the flat top is almost like a game changer. All right, guys, so we're about to flip these. It's been about 10 minutes. It's not got the nice golden brown crust I want yet, but that's fine. We can flip it back over. But what I've been doing is my oil has been draining down off the flat top. So instead of losing the oil, I've just been scraping it back up, run it on the spatula, and since the oil is going from right to left, I just keep putting the oil on the farthest side and let it come back naturally through all the nooks and crevices and crannies and all that stuff. See that? All right, so let's flip them. This is the flour. Move it off the heat just a little bit. Check your oil, okay? If you need to add just a touch more oil because it absorbed, now's the time to do so. Ooh. That's not too bad in the color zone.
Nope.
One thing I will say is that I did notice that my flat top lost a little bit of heat, so I've moved it from medium low up to medium just to help carry the process through. And this is the breadcrumb. Look how even that is. That's awesome. All right, this is the panko. You can feel how crispy the panko is underneath. Oh yeah, look at that. Now that right there is golden brown and delicious. God almighty. Woo!
And that's the other panko.
Yes.
You actually made this recipe last week with chicken and with the panko, and it was super good.
Yes. This is This is what we want. I actually looked at this one. I thought it was a little light. I didn't realize this one was darker, but that's exactly what you want. That right there is dang crispy as it gets right there. That's awesome.
And how long had it been on the first side?
About 10 minutes. It won't take as long as the other side because the heat temperature of the grill is going to come up and the actual product is actually warmed up. When you put something cold on your flat top, it's going to reduce the temperature. So just crank the temperature up, and now we're going to be able to get in that fry zone. So right now we're shooting we're up about 260 right now. I mean 360 right now.
I noticed your new shirt there, Big Daddy.
Oh yeah, birthday present from the girls. What do you think? Grill Sergeant. That's awesome. For the Charcoal King. Birthday was yesterday. Happy 27th birthday.
Ha!
All right, so like I said, it's gonna cook a little faster. So now it's been about 6.5 to 7 minutes per side on this back side. So I'm gonna flip them one more time just to make sure. And when I flip them, woo, I'm not gonna add any more oil. While that grease is hot, this is when it's time to come back in and hit it with a nice little seasoning. Now, once we flip these back over and put them on our board, we'll season the other side. All right, let's flip them over. It's only been just a couple minutes. Look at there, that crust. Woo, you get a little bit of that grease, which helps that. Damn. Like pulling something out of the fryer. All right, come back in. Just a little touch of salt. And I forgot to mention through the video, because it's really not that important, because it's either you want it or you don't want it. But look what we got going on here. A good old country cream gravy. And then the milk, when I added the milk, I added a little beef concentrate. You know that paste stuff that you buy? So it's like a cross between brown gravy and country gravy. I'm like, I can never choose which one, so let's just have both. So that's what we're doing right here. Look at that. Pour it all over that country fried steak. Woo! Now, if you're doing multiple batches, one way to keep your stuff warm and crusty is to use these warming racks. See that? And then you could go back in and put 4 more down. While the bottom of the heat is coming up, it'll keep these crunchy and dry, and that's what you want with your country fried steak. Well, after taste testing them, and I think it's unanimous between me and the microwave queen, the winner, oddly enough, is a breadcrumb. Best of both worlds. Here's why. Fantastic. Here's why. The flour, although crunchy, I think there's more soggy spots and the crust gets a little thick. That's how flour does. 2, the panko gives it almost like the extra crunch factor. Like it's crunchy, trust me. I mean, this is like some serious crunch, which is really good. But for some reason, the breadcrumb, which I didn't think was going to hold up, is almost like the perfect balance. When you pound out that meat thin, you get the crunch on both sides. And this winter, I'm telling you, you put some of that brown country peppered gravy over it and you got yourself a
Winner, winner, country fried steak dinner.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, and throw some of these daggum country fried steaks on the flat top grill and serve the family, because dang, they're delicious. Peace.